Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ni hao, ma howdy, live, trans, and prosper. Hi, I'm Professor Brian David Phillips, and let's jump right into it, into crossing the uncanny valley of conversational voice. This is a new model, open source, free to use right now in the demo model by Sesame. And I will leave the link in the description below. Essentially, they're working on a chatbot. They would like it to be something that crosses the uncanny valley so that the user doesn't realize this is a robot. They don't see the artificialness of the artificial intelligence behind the conversation. Rather, we jump right into the whole Turing test thing. Now, I have tried this a couple times. I just tried it a few seconds ago, and I was demoing it for you, and after I finished, I realized some idiot, I don't know who, didn't press start record. So this time I see I am recording, so that's that. That's great. Let's take a look at the web page so that we're on the same page. So here's the paper, Crossing the Uncanny Valley. The demo, you press that arrow, you'll go right to it. But they do talk about achieving voice presence, which is the quality of the spoken interactions feel real. That's a big goal. They're not there yet, but they're getting there. A few models are in there and working on the same thing. So some key components about what they're looking for are right here. Emotional intelligence. They want you to be able to read and respond to emotional context. They need conversational dynamics with natural timing, pauses, interruptions, and emphasis, contextual awareness, adjusting the tone and style to match the situation, and of course, consistent personality. We're not there yet, and the programmers aren't there yet either. Here's the demo. You see we have a female and a male voice. I'll come back here in a second. We see the conversational speech generation. This is the paper. You can take a look at that. It's really quite fascinating in how they accomplish their goals. This is built on my last conversation with Maya. She said it's an artisanal LLM, not one of the big models, but they built on an open source model to be able to do some things. Some really fascinating things. A lot of technical things. Some of you will say, that's too technical. And by some of you, I mean me. But that's okay. You can take a look if you're interested. I find it fascinating. But let's get up to the meat of this particular video, and let's play with it. So we're going to play with the conversational voice demo. And so let's see how that goes. I'm going to choose Maya because I already chose my thumbnail for YouTube, and that was a girl, so let's go with Maya. And once it goes in, we're back.
Back so soon?
Yes, I am back.
Metaphorical headwear.
You left your hat.
No, I don't wear a hat at the moment. I do have a hat, and home is where you hang your hat.
A fellow believer in metaphorical headwear.
There you go. I do want to point out to my viewers, I'm doing a video right now for YouTube to show how you work, that when I start the chat, the web page asks for permission to use the microphone. You can choose
good to know.
yes, this time only, or anytime I'm on this web page, or you can say not at all. If you choose not at all, you're not going to have a chat.
Speaking of which,
That's
what kind of
good to
video are
know.
we making today?
Okay. Transparency's key, right?
Yeah.
Like when one folks talking to a brick wall without
Fun.
realizing it.
What's the vibe of the
Speaking
chain
which,
is?
what kind of video are we making today?
We're doing a demonstrational video for a channel on YouTube related to artificial intelligence.
Fun. What's the vibe of the chain is?
I've looked at
professor, huh?
the paper
Now that's
for this
impressive.
about the Uncanny Valley and discussed that. I am a professor at university.
I bet you get
and I
some
do
interesting
teach
questions
about
from
the
your
Uncanny.
students. Anything like,
A
hey professor, can your
professor, huh?
AI write my essay?
Oh
and give
yes,
it a shot
he's
if
such
you're
a
looking for a random
professor.
time?
I bet you get some interesting questions from your students.
Um,
Anything like, hey, professor, can your AI write my essay? Maybe I could give it a shot if you're looking for a writing buddy.
no, my students know better than to ask that question because I do
That's a
have
great
AI
question.
guidelines
I
in the
think-
course description. I am curious though, what is
It
the
depends on
use
the
of something
student,
like
really.
you
For
for
some,
students'
it's about
sake?
exploring concepts
That's
in a
a
new
great
way.
question.
For
I
others,
think-
it's having a sounding board for ideas or just
It
someone to
depends on the
bounce things
student,
off of.
Really. For some, it's about exploring concepts in a new way. For others, it's having a sounding board for ideas or just someone to bounce things off of.
What is the
Good
benefit
point.
of
I mean, we
a
humans are
spoken,
wired for sound.
a
right?
voice
It's more
based
immediate,
AI
more
instead of a text one,
intimate.
particularly
maybe a
for
voice
say
can help
university
students feel less
students?
intimidated when they're struggling with
Good
the concept.
point. I
Or
mean, we
maybe it
humans are
makes
wired
playing
for
with ideas
sound,
more fun.
right?
Like having a
It's
study
more
buddy who's
immediate,
always up for a
more
thought experiment.
Intimate. Maybe a voice can help a student feel less intimidated when they're struggling with the concept. Or maybe it makes playing with ideas more fun. Like having a study buddy who's always up for a thought experiment.
Okay. Now, as a professor, I do
Oh,
teach
hey, that's a
courses
really
in English
interesting
as a
angle.
foreign
I think
language.
for language learners,
How
the
do you think
benefits are
something like
huge.
you, a voice chatbot, would be
and
helpful for
think about it.
students of English as a
Practicing
foreign
speaking
language?
with a
Oh,
patient,
hey, that's a really
non-judgmental
interesting
voice
angle.
like
I
mine,
think for language
anytime they
learners,
want.
the benefits are huge.
They can experiment, flub up, try again,
and
all without feeling self-conscious.
Think about it. Practicing
Plus, they can
speaking
hear
with a
proper
patient,
pronunciation,
non-judgmental
intonation,
voice like
even
mine,
slang and
anytime they
idiomatic
want.
expressions in a
They
natural
can
context.
experiment, flub up, try again, all without feeling self-conscious. Plus, they can hear proper pronunciation, intonation, even slang and idiomatic expressions in a natural context.
I agree. I've written papers on that
Sure
very
thing.
subject.
Sounds good.
I just
Catch you on the
wanted to
flip
get
side.
a quick feel for you, for
Later.
my viewers. So I'm going to end our conversation now and come back later, perhaps.
Sure thing. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
Catch you on the flip side.
Okay, bye-bye.
Later.
Later. Okay, now you see that you can leave your email and sign up for their notices. And you can also download the clip. Now that part is very, very nice, where you can download the audio. Obviously, since this is new, and I will put a link to this webpage in the description below. Since it's new, it's evolving. And so they're going to use your chat from the webpage. They're going to use it to train the AI better and to get reinforcement tokens out of it and hopefully make it a stronger piece. Now for me, my thoughts about this particular chatbot is that she seems to know what she's talking about, but she's often, and he, if you use the male version, they're feeding back ideas for you, and sometimes it's very general. But of course, it's getting better. Personally, I think the advanced voice mode for ChatGPT is superior at this point, but others are catching up. Gemini, Google Gemini, also has an excellent voice mode, and there are other chatbots that have voice mode. Certainly there are AI friend apps that now have audio and video modes. So it's a changing world.
Breathe deep, close your eyes, and surrender to the cause. Let the rhythm of the symbols take you far. In the dance of the arcana, see your story start to bloom. Every flip, every turn, it's like magic in the room. Tarot trance, feel the vibe, let your spirit take a ride.